don't strike me as ordinary Academy support staff.
Your frequency monitor is properly fitted to ensure correct adaptability to the exostrider's frequency.
The spring breeze is so warm. So, how have you been feeling these last few days? You soaked in void matter for that long? And you're telling me you're fine? Better not be lying to me. Just thinking about what you risked. Hey, don't you ever do something like that again, okay?
I could say the same to you, Imeth. You think what you did before was any less risky? Never coming back isn't exactly my idea of a happy ending.
That... Okay. I'm sorry, all right? Back then, I didn't have a choice. You know how it is. Sometimes there are things you just have to do. I won't do it again. Promise. Cross my heart. Besides, look at us now. We're both okay. And Lahai-Roy's safe. That's a pretty happy ending, right? The Savior and the world. Saving each other at last. A tale for the ages.
Imeth, there's something I want to ask you.
What is it?
After you were sealed beyond the Strider Gate, how long were you out there? Alone? You've been dodging this. But I don't want you to keep choosing to handle this on your own.
Feels like if I try to brush this off again, I'm gonna get scolded for real. Honestly, I can't really remember anymore. Toward the end, I couldn't even tell if time was still moving. It was just darkness, emptiness, over and over, boring, monotonous. But hey, I've had practice being alone. It's fine. The ones who faded into nothing, they were with me, you know? In all that dark, the light of every explorer who came before never stopped shining. Knowing I was protecting the place they came from made it hurt a little less. When I had the origin point and saw you, the gravity pulled me back and I couldn't go with you. That stung. The moment I saw you, that made me so happy.
Your frequency monitor is properly fitted to ensure correct
Seeing you again, that was enough.
Me too, Imeth.
Okay. This is getting way too heavy. Let's talk about something fun. You know, this whole thing is kind of a blessing in disguise. People could only see me before, but now I can pilot this shell to actually interact with people. Kinda like being in my mech form? I mean, I did die. Having a shell doesn't mean I'm alive again. But it's similar to the exoswarm. And since I'm the Exostrider's resonator, I'd say piloting this body feels about right. And because of that, I've decided to stick around for a while and finish my studies.
For a while?
Yep. The Threnodian thing in Lahai Roy is already handled. And I want to be a real savior who helps more people. So after this, I'm gonna travel around Solaris. But first, I'll stay at Star Torch to graduate. I mean, I never even got my degree before I turned into a digital ghost. Gotta give my school days a proper send-off, you know?
Imeth.
Yeah?
Even if it isn't a happy, carefree life, if it's the one you choose, I'll be proud of you. So go follow your heart, Imeth. I'll always be right here.
Okay. I won't forget. But before all that, walk with me? Just us and the spring breeze.
In addition to augmented resonance training, we place strong emphasis on general education for our synchronists. This is Professor Mornier, who teaches synth armament studies. Shall we sit in for a bit, Mr. Alto, before we tour the student projects?
If it's no trouble.
All right. In the last lecture, we proved that the rule equation holds true for Type 2 synth armaments. Today, we'll move on to their tuning stability constants. Li Shin, could you please write the final derivation from the last lecture on the board?
Yes. Professor.
While she gets started, let's do a quick review. Waleo, what is the standard medium used to measure tuning stability in a lab setting?
It's so...
Yes, sodium. An interesting choice, though its volatility makes it impractical for standard testing. Sonia, could you tell me the standard medium for determining tuning stability in synth armament?
Squeezy jelly?
Squeezy jelly, you say? Well, but that's all right. Everyone, please refocus. Let's go over Li Xian's board work.
As you can see, Mr. Alto, this is our signature sleep learning program.
Oh, very impressive.
After you. Now we're about to show you some augmented resonance projects developed by our synchronists. Among them, the unmanned vehicle prototype shows exceptional promise across multiple market sectors.
Absent students, 8. Data uploaded to cloud storage.
These children seem to have forgotten the importance of honoring their commitments.
What's the deal?
It's like the students all skipped class.
Yeah, maybe we're just too early, President Lucilla. Why don't we take a stroll elsewhere?
My apologies, Mr. Alto. How fortunate we are to have... There's no point denying it. You're seeing firsthand how the ongoing debate within the Space Trek Collective has begun to affect our students. Star Torch needs support now more than ever.
Got any solutions?
Not really. I understand, President. And this is
Mr. Alto, how about we add an extra tour this evening?
Works for me.
Rover, I'll take Mr. Alto for a meal then. Would you mind checking back in with...
See you on Waves Line.
Why didn't you wake them up?
This class is difficult to follow, so it's normal for some to drift off. Still, if only I could make my lectures more
This isn't your fault.
It's like metal fatigue. These students are being tempered and pushed to their limits. Should I have woken them? I've heard about the pressure they've been under lately. Maybe the best thing is a few days away from all this.
Academy students and staff.
You have my deepest respect. Working in this food desert. Something that looked like toothpaste. Ugh. Didn't go down well. And next thing I know, there were students. Ugh! Hellish! To put it simply, the Exostrider's gone. So, the synchronous program needs to go. Problem is, everyone has a different idea of what to do with those students. And by everyone, I mean President Lucilla versus everyone else. Anyway, the new Federation and the majority of the board want to pull the plug immediately and draft it. Meanwhile, the Executive Committee moderates have promised to stay out of it, as long as their nation's synchronists are covered, with either guaranteed support back home or a smooth transfer somewhere else.
Where does Lucilla stand?
She wants to continue the synchronous program.
Continue?
Yup. Confusing, isn't it? Speaking of which, how well do you know her, Rover? Huh. Nice. I'll be honest with you, Rover. The Black Shores doesn't trust her right now. Between her proposal, her deep new Fed connections, and that evasive attitude, there are just too many uncertainties for us to take on the risk of helping her. At least, that's the conclusion we've reached based on the facts we have so far. But the Bloom Bearers who graduated from Star Torch heard about this and stepped up to endorse Lucilla. That's what changed Shorekeeper's mind. A teacher who gets that kind of trust from her students. That's pretty impressive.
So what do you need from me?
Actually, according to Shorekeeper, you are the one really running this audit. So, we need you, acting as both a Star Torch student and a Black Shores auditor, to tell us if Lucilla is solid and what she's really planning.
I want to do something for the Synchronists, but I've also got my responsibility to the Black Shores. Got it. I'll do what I can to help you.
I should be the one saying that to you. Anyway, we need a plan for how...
Great, another grand plan. Why'd you gotta make everything so complicated?
Oh, what the... how's that?
Hello, Mr. Alto. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to invest in the Exostrider project. I suggest the Black Shores chips in this much. Or you can just patch me through to the collective board. I'd be happy to handle the negotiations myself.
Is this Imeth? I can't believe she just hacked a Black Shores terminal.
I am being serious. If synchronous degrees get cancelled, my record will say I only finished Roya preschool. Besides, keeping Rebel College around isn't that hard. Get creative. Talk to Chase. Talk to Shorekeeper. The collective's investors can't be tougher to handle than LF1, right? So what if they don't care about your contributions? If they actually want you on their side, they'll have to listen anyway. That's how leverage works.
If we lean on that kind of leverage now, we'll be held to it later. My experience has shown me that it's often better to act as an individual. Since you're planning on the savior career path, I think you'll understand what I mean, Imeth.
Makes sense. Kinda old school thinking, though.
I need to figure out what Lucilla is really thinking. If I want them to protect the Synchronists when I can't, I've got to work inside their system. That's just how this game works. Trust me and Lucilla. We'll find the right way to...
Ha! Alright then. But just so you know, if my school record disappears, I'm renaming the Space Trek Collective to the Imeth Collective.
Honestly, if we let Imeth loose on them, it might actually take some pressure off Lucilla.
But like she said, she's a Synchronist too. That just makes her one more person, Lucilla.
Fair enough. But I'm afraid we have less time than we... I spotted some new Fed spies back at the station. Lost them on the motorbike. But it won't be long before they track us here. Before Lucilla's next tour begins, let's poke around and see what we can... Students run flea markets on campus? I'm starting to get the hype. Wait, isn't that the student who dozed off in class earlier? Come on, let's go over.
If we follow this method, the convergence radius for this series is obviously...
Yes, I'm following.
I'm terrible at explaining this, aren't I?
No, I'm just slow.
No, you paid me to tutor you, and I'll make sure you get your money's worth. Here, but I'll write down a third way to solve it. Watch how it goes, okay?
Okay.
So that's why she was drowsy in class. She's been staying up late tutoring.
You're telling me you've modified every bike here? That's insane.
Well, Waleo's been in the Expedition motorbike program since day one. These bikes here are basically his family.
Soulmates.
So, what do you say, Auditor Alto? How about you order 10 as a starter pack?
10 soulmates sold in a pack.
I heard you test drove the Academy stock model this morning. With the rain the last 2 days, probably felt a little slip on the turn. Try this one. I tweaked the ABS and TCS myself. You could take this straight to a pro race.
No wonder you were sleeping in class. Up all night in the garret?
No, the bikes have been ready for weeks. Last night I was just saying goodbye to them.
Oh, well that's depressing. I'd feel bad buying them now.
Hands off, you little...
Never!
Please don't fight, you two.
Don't go, Chisa! You've got a real eye for quality. This piece was meant for you.
No, it isn't. She's just a prep student. She doesn't know anything about...
Excuse me? The audacity! Just...
Sorry, I'm not familiar with the mechanics, but I can see that this device's internal structure is finely crafted. From the external casing down to the internal wiring, the structure and circuitry are meticulously designed. Someone...
It's the best thing you'll find in the market, isn't it?
Yes, the best.
Thank you. That means more to me than you know. Honestly, if we want fundraising today, I'd just give it to you. But tell you what, I'll give you 20% off.
No! 6 years, Li Xian! 6 years of your life!
For nothing? I'll tell you what nothing is, little brother. It's having nothing to show for the past and nothing waiting in the future. That's nothing. Look around, Li Heng. We are synchronists. Synchronists who had the most resources but never became the chosen one for the Exo Strider. We've achieved nothing. But if we drop our stupid pride and try to support the students coming up behind us, then we can still be worth something.
You want to support them, sure, but who's gonna support you?
Me. I will support you. Nothing to show? I refuse to let anyone write your epitaph before your work's even been seen. Nothing waiting? You all have me. I, Lucilla, president of Star Torch Academy, will always stand with you. Even if the whole world turns its back. Even if I have to do it. Oh, and by the way, we just landed a very generous sponsor. The new research fund.
That means...
That means pack up this stall. Unless you want to sell your hard work at a loss.
Chief Alto! It was you, wasn't it? You're...
Huh? Oh,
Thank you, Chief Alto.
Oh, impudent little hamster. Really? Using a crisis to... just had a bit of a tiff with a rather difficult partner.
She closed a deal in a single afternoon? That must have been a hard bargain.
I appreciate it, but if a teacher needs her students to worry about her, she's already failed. Let's just keep it between us, hmm?
Sorry, Professor. We were out of line.
Out of line? For defending your work? That's not something to apologize for. Listen to me, Li Xin. This pioneering spirit of yours, in all of you, don't ever let go of it.
I won't.
Oh, and maybe go a little easier on your brother. He's running out of brain cells to lose.
Professor?
About Lenny and the others skipping class? Don't worry. I've already been briefed on their whereabouts. So, Mr. Alto, shall we move on to the
Whoa!
We've got the mind-bending herder, the eccentric traffic illuminator, the ghost girl.
So they turned the reading room into a workshop. Not bad. Kids know how to hustle. Lenny, you broke our little promise. I'm heartbroken, you know.
I promised to show off the Synchronists Club projects. You really think that scrap you wanted me to parade around was gonna win over a single investor? This is what a win looks like. All-terrain, self-propelled artillery. AI-driven multimodal autonomous defense system? Best part is, full augmented resonance effect control. Means zero electromagnetic interference. You could drop this thing in the middle of the etheric sea, and as long as I'm still breathing, I'm still piloting. Auditor!
Present!
If you keep funding synchronous research, then this goes into mass production in 1 year. No, 6 months!
Mass production?
I know, hard to believe, but just let us show you!
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that the Black Shores isn't a
But it cuts through tacit discords like a hot knife through butter.
Leave this to me. Remove the safety, Lenny. Let's give it a test. Be careful.
Activate!
That vehicle.
Watch out!
Memories take shape. That was naughty. Gotcha. Aren't you photogenic? Memories take shape. Say cheese. Gotcha. Are you all right?
Sorry, Professor. Mr. Alto, and...
Nana, please contact Dr. Luke to check on them. Are you all right? Go get yourself patched up in the infirmary.
I agree. And I'm not just blowing smoke, Lenny. Controlling delicate equipment through pure resonance is an ability only you synchronists possess. This technology has huge potential. Especially if you...
But it's too late now.
It's never too late. I've been talking to new partners. There are many who...
We are here to strive for the future of civilization. Star Torch Academy will be the cradle for synchronists and the vanguard of our collective hope. That's what my admission letter said. That's what I believe. I knew I was signing up to be one of the Exostrider's 1,000 backup pilots. A spare part. An appendix to a civilization's appendix. Strive for the future of civilization. Is it true that no one cares about us now that the Exostrider is gone?
I care.
Professor! Professor!
I used to think this whole synchronous thing was just shuffling students from one class to another. But I get it now. These kids, they aren't fighting to keep their synchronous privileges. They're fighting to protect the synchronous mission. Huh. That's why President Lucilla is so adamant about keeping the program. Emotionally, it's not enough to win over the review committee. Without the Exostrider, the synchronous program is just a...
I don't think Lucilla is the type to wager on sentiment alone. She's
asking for our help while keeping secrets. Either way, balls in your court, Rover. Our undercover.
I'm sorry for the incident.
Please, don't be. It was a rewarding day. Those young synchronists left a...
She's fine. Dr. Luke is taking her to the infirmary.
Oh, no need for that. Dr. Luke showed me the way earlier. Actually, you look like you're the one...
All right, then. See you tomorrow morning.
I need to stop by the conference hall before heading back. Care to walk with me?
Sure. When was the last time you slept?
Can't remember.
The last time you ate?
I did keep track of that. What's the weather like at the Black Shores?
It doesn't really change much.
And the food?
A bit better than what we get here.
Just a bit. My students who join the Black Shores barely write to me. Even when they do, they never mention their daily lives. If I do get a sudden call out of nowhere, it's just, "Professor, I have a question." Adorable little gremlins, all of them. As long as they're safe. That's what matters. So, when are you going to start?
Start what?
Fishing for intel? That Mr. Alto must have put you up to it, right?
We could have just cut to the chase.
Rover, would you let the Black Shores compromise its founding mission of fighting the Lament to get tangled up in superpower politics? Just for my sake? I asked myself yesterday if I really knew you. Turns out, I don't. This situation isn't noble, isn't just. It's just businessmen and politicians squabbling over a slice. But I want this to be a collaboration between Star Torch and the Black Shores. Not because we're friends, I put you through this detour because I was afraid that if I asked you directly, you'd just say yes to helping me. So I wanted you to see it for yourself. Judge it with your own measures. That way, you can tell them if Lucilla is worth trusting. And if...
Rover, are you still with the President? Change of plans. The new Federation caught wind she was rallying support and moved the review up.
To when?
Tomorrow morning. Technically...
Classic new Fed. They probably had a review panel parked outside Lahai for days, just waiting for the
How'd they win over the other member states and round up representatives so quickly?
Space Trek Collective budget bylaws. Because the new Fed is a permanent member and rotating chair, they only need half the members to abstain to They likely had this review rigged before it was even proposed.
Gear up, President Lucilla. We'll see how the review plays out and take it from there.
3.5 hours. That's plenty. Let's go.
Where to?
The second half of the tour. Are you upset?
About how you dragged me into your plan? Or the things you're still not telling me?
My. Oh, sorry. Call it a teacher trying to keep on her mask? You're still my student on paper after all.
It sounds like you're saying I can just sit back and enjoy the show.
That's not something you get to do every day, is it?
I didn't expect there to be a place like this beneath Rebel College.
Before Sundermere Base was built, this was a research facility for augmented resonance effects and void storm countermeasures. The executive committee told me I could do whatever I wanted with the space. So I used my forte to do some light memories of my students that should exist only in my mind. Here, they become real. And we still have some time. If you're interested, feel free to look around.
You're using your forte to do all this? How long did it take you to create this?
However long it took, it was worth it. So the ones who stay don't just stay, and the ones who leave don't just leave. The exhibits we're looking for are here. Don't forget, this is my memory palace. Naturally, memory locks require memory keys to unlock. Allow me to demonstrate. This fancy trick only works in this little domain of mine.
What is it?
This is the very reason I built this exhibition hall in the first place. Professor, do you trust me?
Lucilla? You spaced out there. Are you all...
I'm fine. Just had a dream that only lasted a few seconds. Rather fascinating.
Maybe it's a good idea to rest before the review starts.
Don't worry. I promise you I'll crash the second this is over. But right now, we must bring these exhibits with us.
Will a few exhibits be enough to sway them? She usually knows exactly how to sell anything. So why does she look so hesitant?
Thank you for your trust. I know you have 1,000 questions burning in your... How will she handle the new Fed? What's her plan for the Synchronist with the Exostrider gone? Forgive me for not having the answers just yet.
I know you'd never harm the students. That's the only answer I need.
Terrible timing for a compliment, Rover. Anyway, let's take these 2 exhibits and... See you soon, Professor.
Some kind of force pulled us down here. Do you know where we are?
If my memory serves, we're directly beneath the exhibition hall. This way.
Synchronist's cockpit? Was this the prototype?
It looks the part, but this was actually our plan B. Designed without safety limiters to get sync rates up quick. Lets a Synchronist pilot the Exostrider by force. I know. It was meant as a last resort if civilization was staring down extinction. The project was terminated after the initial Synchronists who volunteered. In the end, they lost their ability to resonate with the Exostrider ever again. What our students are facing now isn't new. I just hope I can do better by them this time.
Any idea how we find our way out of here?
With our eyes open, the key should be somewhere here. Excellent. You're catching on quickly.
What's happening?
Something rather unpleasant, I imagine.
Lucilla.
Fine, no more jokes. Honestly, anyone watching would think you're the one facing the board. There. Remember what I told you before entering the dark side? About the memories I erase periodically that can never be recovered? Some things I can't bear to remember, but I also can't bear to forget. So I store them here. Rover, look up. The exit is right above. We can use this key to leave. Everything here is from my memory, but I know you are real. And wherever you are, that must be reality.
I understand. I'll be your reference point. But what about that girl?
Rover, do you have any experience dealing with children? Tell me, what makes a child the most flustered when they're playing hide and seek? Now, come along. Let's treat this little escape as a warm-up for the review. Welcome to the Anti-Void Matter Materials Lab. It's where they first developed the materials for the Academy's anti-void canopy.
What's all of that in the center of the room?
The scrap of the day. Even the best recycling can only keep up with so much. Let's look around to see if there are any leads.
I have the photo. Now where is the right spot to project it?
Time for class. Memories take shape. Come on, get in the shot.
Is this artificial retroactive?
Dear me, this is but a pale imitation. Among the synchronists who survived the experiments, there was one from Jinzhou. Once he realized he'd never resonate with the Exostrider, he returned home. There, he and his colleagues worked together to develop Jinzhou's Retroact Rain defenses.
You're saying the shields against Retroact Rain and Void Storms share the same origin?
Not exactly. His approach didn't work on Void Storms at all. Before he left the Academy, the only things he asked to take with him were a few sheets of material buried under that pile of junk. I often wonder, was he just reluctant to let go of his design?
The girl who trapped us here? She must be trying to show us something through this memory.
Seems I've been getting schooled by my own students a lot lately. Let's go. It's time to move on to the next classroom.
Do you want to stop and take a rest?
Not even close.
What's wrong?
Stay where I can see you, Rover. We've wandered into an unpleasant memory. It's far too easy to get lost in here.
It doesn't look like there's a way to cross the barrier ahead.
I have an idea. Rover, just go with me on this, alright? Rover, can you step a little to the side?
Like this?
Perhaps a step forward. Maybe a step back. All right, this is the last one. Let's see that beautiful smile. Has anyone ever told you that you're not the most photogenic?
They have now.
No more teasing. This shot will have to suffice.
Clear as day, madam. Your daughter isn't sick. She has awakened her forte, and it's a remarkable rare memory time. Congratulations. I'm certain she'll make an immense contribution to the new Federation one day.
My Lucy will never become a resonator. I don't want to be a resonator! Please, no! Lucy!
Let me take shape.
Lucilla? Not good. Without a reference point, she's getting pulled into the deep end of her memories. I need to find her before too much time passes.
Are you still there, Lucilla?
Yes.
Then why aren't you answering?
What do you want me to say?
You could say okay, or I understand. This is the perfect moment. While our opponents are spread too thin, we take the reins. Just like the time you became president. Don't worry about the narrative. We'll play the villain. You just act tough, rope the independent auditor in, and we'll force another round of review. You fight hard. We express our concerns, and then we both take a step back. As long as we ensure our control over the future of the Synchronous program, nothing.
And what do you want from my students?
Simple. We both get what we want. They have talent, and we help them achieve their dreams.
Their choice. Whose dreams are we really achieving?
It will be their choice, Lucilla. My Lucy, I won't speak of your past choices, but tell me, has there been a single choice that wasn't your own?
I still refuse.
There. Just like that. Act tough, fight hard, and then we both.
From the Academy to the Pioneer Association, then to the Space Trek Collective, and now here. Watch out. That's me from the dark side. I use this memory to trap her. When are you going to tell her, Professor Lucilla? President Lucilla? That you've already made? Let's go. You think you can outrun yourself, Lucilla?
Before the meeting starts, I need you to take the time to fill me in on what's really happening.
Thank you. I promise I'd never let the new Federation lace. That's just her wishful thinking. A moth to the flame, daring the sky with wings of wax. Your students will die because of you. Let's leave this place, Rover.
You could have erased this memory. Why keep something so dangerous locked away?
To keep the sting fresh. A sharp reminder of the cost of slipping up if I ever get too comfortable in the Academy's peace. Let it go, Lucilla. Face what you know is reality. Once again, I found the courage to step into this room. Time flows here, silent and peaceful. The Academy is alive and thriving. We've come so much further than I ever dreamed. I wish you were here to see it.
The accident report is indisputable. Cable insulation failure leading to flight control abnormality. But the truth is simpler. I approved the plan. I killed her. With it for so long. What's a teacher supposed to do when a student dreams something so brilliantly insane? But she chose the sky. And I thought, at least let her have one chance to fall.
Is that Sundamir? Are we back before the Starward Riseway was even built?
Most of the students who lost their synchronous status in those force sync trials decided to return home. All but one. She told me it wasn't that she'd lost the Exostrider. The Exostrider had lost her. She said she designed a revolutionary transport method. A rocket piercing the sky. A way to bridge that sky and the Earth. This was the day she tested it. Her first crewed flight.
Then that wasn't a falling star. It was...
a spacecraft. Carrying the most brilliant student I've ever known.
To Sundermere Lookout. Professor, can you hear me?
Yes.
The weather couldn't be more perfect today. Oh, and I just saw a super huge solaskin. I'll snap a picture for you as soon as I can.
Okay.
Professor? You don't sound like your usual self.
No, it's not that. I haven't slept much lately. I'm a little tired. That's all.
Professor, do you trust us?
Hey,
remember that old Huanglong saying? Know the way at dawn and, something at dusk? Ugh, it went right out of my head.
I can't remember it either.
That's okay. I'll look it up and tell you the second the experiment is over. Talk to you soon.
From the way it fell, void matter must have pierced the shielding mid-flight. But if we'd reinforced the coating... What kind of civilization do you think built the Exostrider? If they were that advanced, do you think they'd already defeated the Threnodians? Oh. But before they reached the stars, they must have fallen too. Again and again. Go. Be our eyes. Walk with humanity. Please, give this to our teacher. Humanity's smallest step. And...
This isn't good.
Lucilla! Lucilla, wait! Lucilla, your emotions are affecting this domain. It's dangerous.
Staying here is the real danger. Oh, we have to leave. Almost there. As long as we keep moving upward, we'll find the way out.
So this is why you wouldn't tell me what your plan was. This way out you've been building for the Synchronists. It's just a dead end, isn't it?
I don't want the new Federation to lay their dirty hands on my students. But the more I think about it rationally, because on what grounds can I propose a plan that might kill them?
I think I know why that girl trapped you here.
What?
You're terrified that your proposal will be their end. You're afraid because you know they'll support any plan you bring to the table. Because you're their teacher. Because no one in this world understands them the way you do.
Another lesson from my own student. Huh. See you later, Rover.
I hope humanity can soar even higher.
I hope humanity can venture even farther.
I hope humanity can weather any storm.
Professor, what's your dream? My dream? My dream is simply to see all of yours come true. See you later, Professor. Let's go. Together this time. Past. Step forward. I protect. I witness. Then take all that I have. Smile.
Professor, can you hear me?
I hear you. Loud and clear.
The weather couldn't be more perfect today. Oh, and I just saw a super huge
Yes, I see it too. You're right. It's absolutely huge.
Great. I thought you weren't gonna believe me. Right. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Was that girl another one of your students?
She is every memory I have of this academy. She is every one of my students.
We've come all this way, and I still don't know what your plan actually is.
That's okay. Everyone's about to find out.
Tired?
That was an excited yawn, Rover.
you and Lucilla? The other panelists have all taken their seats. The students, too. Can we really trust this plan of hers? Anyway, I'm leaving the speech to you.
Then we'll face it together. See you later, Professor.
President Lucilla, I am Cameron, Permanent Secretary of the Space Trek Collective Board. By appointment of the board, and on behalf of the Investors Conference, I hereby convene this second special inquiry concerning the synchronous program of Star Torch Academy. Pursuant to Article 12 of the Space Trek Collective Charter, President Lucilla, you may now raise any procedural objections regarding the attendees, the agenda, or the draft of this session.
I would like to know the national composition of this review panel, Ms. Cameron.
This panel consists of 10 members, all from the new Federation. 5 serve as special representatives, and of the remaining 4 permanent board members, 2 have abstained and delegated their voting rights to the Federation. Additionally, we have Mr. Alto, attending as independent auditor on behalf of the Black Shores.
Then, Ms. Cameron, I believe the current composition of this panel fails to comply with charter regulations governing review committees.
According to the regulations, any participant authorized by a board member shall be deemed to hold the same nationality as that member. The panel's composition is perfectly valid.
Pardon the interruption. If that's the case, then Rover, currently a student at Rebel College, can also be considered a panelist appointed by the Black Shores. Here's the paperwork.
Welcome, Rover.
I have no further questions, Ms. Cameron.
Then, per the agenda, I will now relay the investors' resolution following our previous inquiry. Given that the loss of the Exostrider constitutes a de facto failure of the program, our immediate priority is to establish a compensation plan for the affected assets and students. Furthermore, the board directs that the synchronous program must be terminated immediately, or at minimum suspended.
My stance remains unchanged, Ms. Cameron. I intend to continue the program.
We require a justification.
Panelists, this is a theoretical prototype for a shield designed to counter retroact rain, created by one of our synchronists. This prototype significantly accelerated the development of Jinzhou's own defenses. It saved countless lives during the war against the Threnodian Overthrax. And yet, the material used in this prototype was originally nothing more than discarded scrap from one of the engineering department's experiments. It was only because its designer was a synchronist, educated in engineering, void matter, and even meteorology, that this material found a second life.
You seem to be arguing for the superiority of general education for the synchronists, President. However, general education isn't even included in the program's white paper. I fail to see a link between that and advancing the Synchronist program. The shield is an impressive surprise, but given the cost of gambling on such a slim probability, the cost-effectiveness is simply too low.
Ms. Cameron, panelists, how exactly are we meant to measure the cost-effectiveness of failure? As you can see, this shattered component comes from a failed experiment. One that was not even recorded in the Collective's official gazette. A synchronist gave her life as the price for validating her theory. 15 months later, this very component became the final piece for the construction of the Starward Riseway, the bridge between Lahiwoi's Earth and the sky. Humanity does not always set out for the sake of victory, Ms. Cameron. Our synchronists know from the day they enroll. No one knows when the Exostrider will awaken, and the odds that they'll be the one to pilot it are slim. Yet they come anyway. They march toward likely failure from the very start. So I ask you, can you truly say that such failure has no value? And how can we call that a failure of the Synchronists, when the Exostrider was the one who banished LF-1 from our world?
Secretary Cameron, the Black Shores representative requests the floor.
Proceed.
On the subject of unforeseen benefits from the program, we find ourselves in agreement with President Lucilla. This is a set of disclosable data we've just compiled. A significant proportion of current Black Shore members came from Star Torch Academy. These Bloom Bearers demonstrate exceptional capability, talent, and resolve, traits most prominent among the Synchronists. Furthermore, the Synchronists serve as role models for other students. I believe Rover is better suited to speak on that.
The Synchronist program is a search for a way out for our civilization. When we believed the Exostrider was the only route, then those fit to pilot it were the Synchronists. Now that the Exostrider is no longer a viable option, the ones fit to search for a new way out are still our Synchronists.
Yes, which is why I must disagree with evaluating the Synchronist program purely in terms of cost-effectiveness. I urge investors to reconsider the criteria used to measure its value.
We require a discussion. This session is adjourned for 5 minutes.
Let them see your potential. Let them see your value. But that is not enough.
President Lucilla, following the review panel's deliberation, we fully recognize the potential value of the Synchronists as an independent academic division, as well as Rover stated. Only those fit to shoulder the burden of finding a new way out deserve the title Synchronist. Therefore, we propose a compromise. Rebel College will be preserved, but All future training must be subject to the guidance and review of this panel. Let's both take a step back, shall we? President Lucilla.
This is it. The final fight, Lucilla. Take a deep breath. Keep your composure. And remember. Everything you regret. Everything that brings you joy. Everything you have lost. Everything you have witnessed. The answer you chase. The treasure you give everything to protect. No, that won't be necessary, Secretary Cameron. The Synchronists of today, they remain the closest thing this world has to a way out after our confrontation with Aleph 1. We recovered this audio recording from the interstellar probe Farwatcher.
It's nothing more than static.
Even so, it is the only legacy the pioneers of Solaris have left us. We are not alone, Secretary Cameron. Just as our ancestors took shelter in caves, just as Star Torch Academy was built in Lahairoi, just as humanity itself endures on Solaris, a brave soul took the first step to claim that future.
I fail to see what this has to do with the Synchronists.
Using Rebel College research, we can build vehicles driven entirely by augmented resonance. That means complete immunity to frequency interference. And the training our Synchronists undergo makes them the perfect pilots for these vessels.
But the Strider Gate has been sealed. Not to mention, whatever lies beyond can hardly be called a route.
Who said civilization's route to the future has to go down?
The stars.
President Lucilla, I'm sure you know, any instrument that nears the etheric sea.
I am well aware of that. However, by relying on augmented resonance effects, the Academy can overcome that barrier.
And if it fails, the cockpit becomes a coffin. Is that a chance you're willing to take?
This is our decision. If the answer lies beyond death, then that's where we go. Just wait and see. My brightest students will pierce the sky for all to see.
The car will be here soon. I could take it from here.
Thanks for everything, Alto. Really.
You! Rover, can you pass a message to the president for me? After a speech like that? Anyway, chillax. Well, catch you at the Black Shore.
Yeah. Till next time.
The lenses convert the reactive
I can give you a ride to the training post, but stay away from my sink jack.
In Tonglong's usual dialect, this place's name means the bridge of flowers.
Professor, I admit there are a few errors.
She is not here. She is likely still at the review hall.
Thank you. I'll look for her there.
I'm sorry.
What for?
If I had been more helpful. Perhaps
This was her battle. You and I have already done our best.
Go check on her.
Some Nodors are only supposed to show up in the middle of nowhere. What the heck is going on?
The Ivory Gatekeeper will have answers. We'll contact it after we see Mornier and find out what's happening.